Let us see today how we can paint boulders. As all of you know, boulders are rocks generally seen on the seaside or the riverbed, and these are rocks which are eroded over the years due to wind, and they turn out to be smooth and rounded. Now, whenever you want to paint anything in acrylics in nature, uh, we must remember from which side is the light coming. So we presume in this case light coming from the top left side. In this case, if you want to show the boulders here, prepare a mixture of burnt sienna, that is a brown, and white. Burnt sienna and brown. Burnt sienna and white. And mix that along with a little touch of black, just a hint of black added to it, so that you get a chocolate brown. And move your flat brush, small flat brush, to form a kind of a dome, a dome shape. Now these rocks which you find in nature are in plenty at times, and they often appear one hiding behind the other, or one almost overlapping the other. So you can choose to draw or paint a few or many using different colors like black, brown, pure brown, and show them one next to the other, and all of them rounded. So here I go and try and make them bigger in size, smaller in size, one by the side of the other, and so on and so forth. In short, practice painting boulders as rounded objects, one next to the other. There could be a few isolated here and there. And let this completely dry. Once dry, take the same brush, a tiny flat brush, and make a lighter mixture of white and a little hint of burnt sienna, and go over each of these rocks, exactly overlapping the edges, completely masking or hiding the earlier work done at the edges. Use more white. Yes, they should look a little more brilliant because the light which we have presumed is coming from the top left side. Cover this. Then wipe the brush. Do not rinse. Wipe the brush and use this as a dry brush to pull this moist color further down. This gives you a gradation of tones. Gradation means from dark to light. So from heavy to light. At the same time, it also generates some beautiful texture. So just use the same brush as a dry brush after drying it on a rag. So this gives you the feel of a rounded stone or the boulders. Next, repeat that mix over the next one. Maybe some more white required. That is left to your judgment, how much to use. Now I take a little bit of burnt sienna more, because as the gaze passes from the more lit area to the less lit and almost nil, the color must change from whitish to a little more brown to almost chocolate brown or black. Wipe the brush and pull it over to indicate some texture. Although these boulders are rounded, they are not very smooth. They do carry a certain amount of texture, which we can always indicate by scrubbing or rubbing the brush over it. But generally, keeping the whole boulder little rounded. Yes. So there it is. Then the next, a mix of white and burnt sienna to be added on top of the third one. I increase a little bit of white to show it different from the earlier one. Wipe the brush, use the same brush to pull the moist color down, creating a lovely texture. Mix of white and burnt sienna to be repeated over the tiny one. And here. Now, as I said, these boulders are often seen near water bodies like the riverside or the seaside, and generally surrounded by sand, for which we have one wonderful color called as the sand color or the unbleached titanium. This is unbleached titanium, and it's like a direct sand color. When squeezed out, you can see for yourself that it looks like sand. So I make use of, or otherwise yellow ochre with a little bit of red and a lot of white can also be mixed to make the sand color. So I use the sand color to surround these boulders. Of course, these boulders may be on inside the sea also, near the shore. But the objective in this lesson is to learn how to paint such boulders. So we will restrict our study to boulders only. Now I'm adding this sand so that the little exercise gets a sense of completion, lest it looks as if the boulders are floating in the air. So I've just added a little bit of sand here and there surrounding the boulders. And that gives me a chance to show the shadows cast by the boulders. Now the shadows cast by the boulders may be shown with the help of a medium pointed round brush using little liquid black. Dilute the black and make the black transparent. Acrylics are paints which can be used both ways, opaque as well as transparent. So if I just touch a little transparent layer over this, I tend to produce the sense of shadow cast by the boulders. So acrylics used with more water create a transparent layer, and we take advantage of this property of acrylics where a little more water is added and a transparent color is produced or prepared and can be laid down on the right side with the help of a medium round brush. Even shadows on the right side may also be built up with the help of transparent acrylics. So these are boulders. Thank you very much, and if you have liked this video, please press the like button and subscribe to this channel. Thank you once again.